Last Sunday, Feyenoord managed to beat their rivals Ajax with a 6-2 victory, a match that Feyenoord fans will remember for a long time. Let's look at how the teams lined up tactically. Feyenoord started in a 4-3-3 system, with Robin van Persie as the striker and Toornstra back in midfield. Ajax also went with a 4-3-3 with Magellan in central defence next to De Ligt. As Ajax dominated the first 15 minutes, we'll start with how they attacked. As usual, De Jong would drop into the left half space to aid during build-up. And here De Jong has fallen back, the fullbacks are high up and the wingers have moved inside. When De Jong starts to dribble forward, a Feyenoord midfielder had to step out to him, which would free up teammates. It happened a bit later in the match. Ajax's second goal was a good example of this. Here, Feyenoord's pressing is off and De Jong is able to get free in midfield. Feyenoord's left fullback tries to press De Jong, but this leaves Ajax's right winger free. The winger then dribbles into the box and Van de Beek makes an overlapping run. And that leads to Ajax scoring the equaliser to make it 2-2, after getting their first goal in the 8th minute through a free kick. Defensively, I'm not entirely sure what Ajax's plan was. During pressing, they would try to force Feyenoord over Feyenoord's right side. Ajax's right winger would move inside to mark Feyenoord's left central defender, while Ajax's striker would leave the left central defender with more space. When the ball did go to the left side, Ajax's fullback would press Feyenoord's fullback. And here you can see Ajax's right winger pressing the left central defender. Here Ajax's fullback steps through and the midfielders are tight to their man. This high pressing led to some mistakes in Feyenoord's build-up early on. This was also because Feyenoord's right central defender and right fullback aren't great during build-up, and there could have been more movement in midfield. Feyenoord's right fullback Sint-Juste has a closed body shape. Therefore, when he receives, he isn't able to play forward. I'm unsure what the plan for defending in their own half was. It looked like a quite poorly executed form of zonal man orientations, with one half of the team being too man orientated and the other half too zonal orientated. Here it still seems quite alright, just pressing a player when he is in your zone. And here Van Persie drops but isn't followed by a central defender as he runs out of the central defender's zone. However, it often looked like this, especially during transitions, with all three midfielders just following their own opponent, and this is what Feyenoord and Robin van Persie in particular managed to exploit really well. Schöne and De Jong have both followed their opponent to the sides of the field. Larsson drops into midfield and Blind wants to stay in position, but because both De Jong and Schöne are gone, Blind isn't able to pass over the marking of Larsson. Feyenoord's right winger Berghuis has the ball. De Jong stays in his zone, but both Van de Beek and Schöne stay man-orientated, which opens up space for Berghuis to dribble into. Ajax's right fullback is sleeping, and Larsson gets a big chance to score. Now, what Van Persie did really well was to constantly drag apart the two central defenders. Van Persie drops and takes the central defender with him, which opens up a big space in the centre. Feyenoord is almost able to exploit the space. The way Ajax pressed also didn't help. Here, Ajax's right fullback is pressing Feyenoord's left fullback. Therefore, De Ligt has moved Feyenoord's left winger and Van Persie drags the other central defender out of position, leaving only De Jong in the centre. This was also how Feyenoord scored their first goal to make it 1-1. Feyenoord's right winger drops and drags the left fullback out of position. Van Persie moves to the open space on the wing and takes a central defender with him, which opens up a massive amount of space in the middle, which then allows Feyenoord to score. Another aspect which Feyenoord managed to exploit was Ajax's bad rest defence. As Ajax put both fullbacks high up, there was a lot of space behind them for Feyenoord to exploit. Here, Feyenoord's goalkeeper plays a quick throw to the left fullback. The fullback reaches the winger who is able to play out his opponent. The ball is then played to Van Persie, who is able to attract opponents by holding onto the ball and freeing up space on the wing. Van de Beek doesn't track back into the box and Feyenoord make it 2-1. As I mentioned before, Feyenoord's build-up wasn't that great, therefore it was really important for them that Van Persie was able to hold onto the ball at times. And here's an example of Van Persie holding onto the ball, which allows other players to move up. Defensively, Feyenoord played with man orientations, mainly trying to make 1v1s in midfield. When you are defending in this manner, it's very important that your midfielders win their individual duels. In the first 15 minutes, Feyenoord really struggled in that department, but after their initial nerves were calmed down, all these duels ended up in Feyenoord's favour. Eventually, this even led to Feyenoord's third goal. Here, Ajax play a long ball. Feyenoord's central defender wins the header, which immediately allows Feyenoord to counter-attack. The game was constantly going from one side to the other, mainly because Feyenoord also didn't have their rest defence sorted out. As Feyenoord's wingers often moved inside, their midfielders moved outside, and Feyenoord's right fullback would often bomb forward. Here, the two midfielders and the right back are in front of the ball when Feyenoord lose it, which allows Ajax to create a counter-attack. In the second half, both teams switched to more of a zonal structure. Feyenoord now had Vilena stay next to Classy in central midfield, forming a 4-4-2 structure at times. Ajax would have Schöne stay in more of a zonal position, however this meant that Van de Beek would be against both Classy and Vilena, which allowed Classy to get free multiple times at the start of the second half. After about 10 minutes into the second half, Feyenoord managed to make it 4-2. Van Persie makes a run, which pulls the fullback to him and opens up space on the wing. And this is just some masterclass defending right here. Unfortunately, at this point, the stream I used to make the shots broke down, so I'm not able to show the last two goals. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's all for today. Make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, the links to Patreon, Twitter and Instagram are in the description. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.